Now, here's where the white supremacists always get black people to fall for this trick. I want to emphasize this.
Okay.
I was thinking about it during the break. This is real serious. As victims of racism, we should have learned by now the white supremacist trick of sticking a mic in front of a black person's face and saying, say something, all right? And the black person will say something like maybe, racism doesn't exist. And then all the other black people throughout the world, go ballistic and start saying, did that black person say that racism doesn't exist? And I'm putting up with racism every day? Oh, and then they start cursing and just going off and criticizing the person. The code says BGQ. That's why I invented that term. Victims Guaranteed Qualification. A victim of racism can say anything. I don't care what it is. You're qualified to say it. Anything about your victimization, or even if you see your victimization as not being victimized. As a prisoner of war, you can say anything you want to about your prison situation. All prisoners are equal, and all black people are prisoners of the war between those who believe in white supremacy and those who don't. We are born in captivity. So, if a black person walks around in the prison yard saying, I'm not in prison, all right, the rest of y'all can think you're all in prison, but I'm not in prison. Well, he or she is entitled to say that.
Mm-hmm.
But the condition is still the same. Now, here's where the white supremacists trick us. They will stick a mic in front of that person's face and say, what's that you said? Said, oh, I'm not in prison. Or black people are not being mistreated, never have been mistreated. Black people have never been slaves. Black people are not slaves now. All right? Some black person somewhere on the planet might say that. Okay? And then here's where the white supremacists trick us. They immediately say, did you hear what he just said? This black person said slavery is a good thing, or racism doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that? And then they'll put the mic in front of another black person's mouth.
Okay.
That's where we make our mistake.
Okay.
Because we don't know what to say when that happens. But the code says, I know what to say.
Oh.
I would say, yeah, I heard him say that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir, I heard him say that. Slavery doesn't exist. Slavery is a good thing. If it does exist, black people should be slaves. I heard that black person say that. But you know what? And when that white person asked me, well, what do I have to say about it? I say, he said what he said.
Okay.
She said what she said. And then, here's where I go on the offense. I say, now, I just heard what he said, sir. Or I just heard what he said, ma'am, in case it's a white woman. Then I will say, but what I am interested in, sir or ma'am, is what you have to say. Because what you have to say is a whole lot more important than what any black person that ever breathed ever says about anything.